Hello friends, it's Walt here. I know it's very late to do a track guide for this week's daily races, but for all those of you who are working in weekdays pretty hard and don't have a lot of time to racing and only hop on GT Sport in weekends, this might be right on time. So here goes. So the first braking point is kinda hard to see in this video, but when you will be on the track you will know what I'm talking about. Right before the 100-meter sign, right before the curb, there is a color change in the asphalt. If you look closely, it goes from lighter to darker right before it, and you want to brake right in the middle of that spot. Now when you reach 50-meter sign, start slowly turn in and aim your right front tire to the curb. Now here, I'm already off the brakes, roughly 1/3 into this section of this corner, and I will coast a bit to point the car in the right direction. I start to coast when the next inner curb is starting to appear in my view. After that I will slowly accelerate in second gear up until half throttle, where I will hold it until I reach that curb. When your right tire hits the curb, upshift to third gear, which will help you accelerate out of this corner immensely. If you stay in the second gear, you risk spinning the wheels out too much and you will lose acceleration. Your next turning point is the second Pirelli sign, but you don't brake there. Release the throttle, start to turn in, and right after you cross the middle of the road, slowly start to apply brakes, up to around 30, 35, 40%. Aim for the marshal's boot and you should be set to take this corner in a good line. You can pulsate the brake pressure if you're not very precise with the brakes. When you reach this point, start to slowly apply throttle, aim for the inside of the curb, and if you have problems here with spinning out while going over the curb, you can try to upshift in the fourth gear for a split second when you go over the curb, and after you are over it, shift back to the third gear, and that will prevent you from the spin. You will not lose too much speed. Next reference point is a bit harder. When I reach this sign, when it disappears from my view, I drive about one car length more, and that's when I start to brake and turn in simultaneously. I start with 50% brake pressure and slowly ease it out. And with my right side tires, I try to hit the right side of this curb to get the rotation. But you can try to cut it even more. Aim for the middle of track, slightly turn to the right side as much as you can, and after that try to hit the next curb with your left side wheels. They should catch the inverse inclination that I'm showing on the screen to get the full rotation. No brakes here, just a slight lift. For the next turn, again you have to try to catch your wheels on the inverse inclination of the curb on the other side. That way you can take this section with full throttle. You can see I caught the curb, but I didn't clip my wheels on the inclination, so I had to lift right after that. The next braking point is 100-meter sign, and the next turning point is when the grass on the left side ends. You can end your braking with two wheels on the curb to get wider line in the next turn. Start the turning in the third gear, and midway through shift to the second to get extra rotation. Be sure to use the curb here, but don't overdo it, because it might lead you to a spin. Now for the next section, it's quite interesting, because there are two main ways how to make it. So the next braking point is at 100-meter sign, but I'm usually looking where the red strip starts. That's where I'm braking. Turn in at 15-meter sign, and here comes the interesting part. If you want to go faster, you want to go right over the sausage. However, if you miss it and you hit the sausage, you will go flying and you will lose a lot of time. So what I'm doing, I'm going on the left side of the sausage, lose a bit time, but don't risk going airborne. Here, don't forget to hustle the car a bit, but don't go as much as I did, because I overdid it. Here, you 100% want to go over the sausage and start to accelerate right after you're over it. For this turn, you again want to aim your right side tires to the inverse incline of the curb to help with rotation. Right before you hit it, you'll have to lift a bit, and after that it's full throttle. As for the last turn, turn in before the curb ends. After that, lift the throttle a bit, aim for the curb, and right before you hit the curb, go on full throttle. So yeah, I hope this helps. It doesn't matter if you watch it this weekend or 6 months from now. If you did find this useful, be sure to drop a like. But now, for your attention, full lap without interruptions. Before I go, there's one thing I forgot to mention, and that's brake bias. What I was using was brake bias 0 for whole lap, but at the end of the first sector and through the whole second sector, you can try to use brake bias 1 or 2. It could help, especially in this corner. So be sure to try it out and maybe it helps you. So yeah, that's That's all I was gonna say. Thanks for tuning in and see you in the next one.